Arthur and the Golden Rope, Part 2. One day, while Arthur was attempting to track down a rare species of magical worm, he was startled by a terrible howl. A moment later, he was plunged into darkness as a huge black shape bounded over him and disappeared. Arthur quickly clambered up the nearest tree and poked his head over the top of the canopy. Right there, heading straight for his town, was a monstrous black wolf. He could only watch in horror as the wolf put out the great fire before it leaped back into the darkness of the forest. Arthur hurried back to the town and felt the cold close in on him. The final embers of the great fire were dying, and everyone was huddled together as Atrix began to speak. "Without our great fire warming all our town, every house will be frozen solid in less than a week," Atrix warned. "And all of us soon after," the townsfolk gasped. "But wait, there is a way we can be saved. Across the sea lies the land of the Viking gods. In a mighty hall on top of a mountain, there lives a god with a hammer that can command the skies. He alone has the power to relight our fire." As the townsfolk looked around, they realised a slight problem with this plan. Everyone had been injured by the wolf, from the toughest warriors to their doughiest bakers. There was no one to send. "Arthur's not hurt," piped up one of his classmates. "I wouldn't be surprised if all his meddling brought that beast to us in the first place. He's much too small. He wouldn't last 2 seconds in the land of the gods." "Huh, the only reason he's remained unhurt is because he spends all of his time in the forest with those demons." "Yeah, he's just a no-good meddler." That night, Arthur lay wide awake, the harsh words of the townsfolk running through his head. Maybe he was a meddler and had lied and had led the wolf straight to the town. Taking a deep breath, Arthur decided he must go and find the god of storms. Packing up his most useful possessions, he climbed out of his bedroom window and headed for the harbour. He'd had many adventures in the forest. How much harder could this be? Where will this adventure take Arthur? Who will he meet? Will the god with the big hammer help him? Will the god help Arthur save the town? More to follow next week.